It's my honor to welcome three of the world's leading technology CEOs. And in the case of Larry Ellison, it's well beyond technology, sort of CEO of everything. But to announce the largest AI infrastructure project by far in history, and it's all taking place right here in America.
A very enthusiastic Donald Trump has announced the Stargate AI infrastructure project. Now, what is that? Well, his new right-hand man, Elon Musk, has poured cold water on it. So before we get to Elon Musk's jabs, which I thought were fascinating, let's get to some of the details about what Stargate is and what Trump is planning. So the Stargate AI infrastructure project is apparently a team effort that involves 3 separate companies and investments in AI infrastructure by the 3 separate companies. So each of their CEOs were actually present during Donald Trump's press conference announcing this. And they include OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son, and Oracle chairman Larry Ellison. Now, as part of this project, the 3 companies intend to invest $100 billion to power the physical and virtual infrastructure of AI. And to be sure, AI is going to require quite a bit of energy. Okay, so the investment into Stargate is supposed to potentially increase to $500 billion in the coming years. And I want to be clear, based on the way this was announced and based on the reporting of this project, the money isn't gonna come from taxpayers. These are investments that these separate companies are supposed to make into AI infrastructure in the country. So initially that investment will be used to build they're gonna build a 1 million square foot data center in Texas, but it's really not clear what comes after that. So some of the details are sparse, but here's what we do know so far. The project is expected to create 100,000 US jobs, according to Trump. That's what he's claiming. AI technology does need a massive amount of resources in order to function, particularly when it comes to energy. So according to a report that just came out by the Department of Energy, in 2023, US data center energy use accounted for 176 terawatt hours, 4.4% of all total electricity consumption nationwide, or more than the total amount consumed by all households in California. That is insane, okay? But there's more. By 2028, according to the same report, scientists estimate that power center energy use will be between 325 and 580 terawatt hours per year, roughly 6.7 to 12% of all US electricity consumption, or the amount that 30 to 53 million households currently use. And this might be an issue for Americans when it comes to their own personal electric bills, because a November study from the Jack Kemp Foundation, a public policy nonprofit, found electric bills could increase by up to 70% due to AI data center energy demands. And they do require large amounts of water for cooling and other purposes. So in 2014, data centers indirectly used more than 5.6 billion gallons of water for cooling and other energy purposes. According to the new Energy Department report, that indirect water footprint swelled to more than 211 billion gallons in 2023, more water than 1.76 million US households use per year. I can already see your head exploding in regard to this, especially because I'm sure you're thinking about the climate-related ramifications.
Yeah, and so look, it's complicated because as you pointed out, the government has very little to do with any of this, which is why I sort of felt it was weird that it's like this big, like Fox News, like Trump announced, and like, so I was like, oh, well, look, I have a lot of issues with AI and everything, but I guess it's a big investment. It's a big infrastructure thing. And we've been like begging him to do something with infrastructure his whole time he was president. And so like I was digging into it and I was like, well, we're not putting any money into it, which I guess is good, theoretically. The only government involvement is he says he's going to try to ease regulations to help them set up the infrastructure in different states.
Right.
Which I guess is something, but like, we don't have much to do with this. Which also means that if we think this is a bad idea, It's not like Trump is unilaterally doing it. They're just building a big thing. They were gonna do that anyway. And so they were probably gonna do it under Biden. That said, you could regulate this sort of thing if you thought it was going to wreck the nation's energy costs and everything. That's terrible. You could regulate that. You could do something about the water, certainly about the emissions. Obviously, those are not gonna be concerns under Donald Trump. Maybe they wouldn't have been under Biden either. He wanted, or like he put out that memo warning against AI and stuff like that. But in terms of the emissions, Trump isn't gonna do literally anything to limit that. I doubt he's gonna care about the energy costs.
I mean,
and it's gonna be affecting Texas the most initially, so conservative Texans' energy costs are probably gonna go up significantly.
Look, I do see the development of AI, and there is a race between the United States and China to dominate AI, right? And so that competition is very much front and center in regard to what Donald Trump is thinking and how he wants to help facilitate the development, future development of AI in America. But obviously, I do see that tension between the energy required for AI, the computing required for AI to work effectively, and what is happening to our environment and what climate goals entail. Now, the fact of the matter is, like, China is gonna compete with us and they're not gonna worry about climate change at all in the process. And so that's frustrating. But I think that you could also generate clean electricity and develop AI without really sacrificing anything as it pertains to climate change, right? So like we've talked a little bit about nuclear energy, and I really do think that that's a possible solution. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's good that you bring that up. I mean, look, China obviously has used a lot of coal.
Yeah.
And probably will for some time, but they also are doing everything they can to lead in clean energy production, solar panels and all that. And we know that Donald Trump has this bizarre ideological opposition to clean energy, probably because of the donors, the fossil fuels and all that. But among the many other executive orders that he did in his first suite was trying to dial back our investment, like the EV tax credits. He's going to hamstring American automakers in terms of catching up with China in building EVs. It's gonna be devastating to a lot of people, a lot of conservatives as well that work in that industry. And also, he wants to do everything he can to stop solar and wind power from being developed. When we need that more than ever now, if you're gonna be doing these massive, like you could say, we'll allow you to build these data centers, but you also have to invest in enough clean energy generation to offset a significant percentage of what you're taking up, so that it's not costing. But you could do that, and then maybe while we're leading the way in AI, we could also be leading the way in clean energy. And that would be good for industry, and it would generate jobs. But this is one of the issues, and there's not a lot of areas, not a lot of them for Donald Trump, where it could do all of those things. It could economically be great, but he just has this tiny weird little problem with it that won't let him see past it, even though he's buddies with Elon Musk.
Well, let's get to Elon Musk, because that's where this story gets super juicy. Now, before we talk about this little tiff that Elon Musk has with Altman, which is really at the center of the jabs that Musk is taking here, I just want to note that the cash is talking. Okay, when it comes to Donald Trump and his willingness to play ball with, the tech CEOs who are really trying to build out the energy centers in order to pursue AI. OpenAI spent $1.76 million on government lobbying in 2024 and $510,000 in the last 3 months of the year alone, according to a new disclosure filed on January 22nd, a significant jump from 2023 when the company spent just $260,000 on Capitol Hill. So anyway, I just wanted to give you those numbers because that's how the sausage is really made in government. That's what persuades politicians to play ball with industry. And so that's definitely taking place as it pertains to Donald Trump and the AI industry. Now, let's get back to Elon Musk and Altman, because Musk absolutely did rain on the Stargate parade almost immediately. In response to a post from OpenAI announcing the project, Musk wrote this: "They don't actually have the money." Okay. In response to that, Sam Altman, who is in a bit of a feud with Elon Musk, says, "I genuinely respect your accomplishments and think you are the most inspiring entrepreneur of our time."
Gross.
I think he was being sarcastic. I doubt that he was being serious.
Oh, I thought he was trying to be a diplomat. I feel like he's done that before with him, but you could be right. I don't know him.
Yeah, there's real tension between the two. So Musk posted another statement that reads, SoftBank has well under $10 billion secured. I have that on good authority. Okay, and Sam Altman disagreed with that, saying wrong, as you surely know. Want to come visit the first site already underway. This is great for the country. I realize what is great for the country isn't always what's optimal for your companies, but in your new role, I hope you'll mostly put America first. So look, it is worth noting that Elon Musk and Altman have feuded for some time now. In fact, Musk has sued Altman and did so last year. So Musk was a co-founder of OpenAI, which was originally a nonprofit. Musk claims that he has issues now because it went from being a nonprofit to being a hybrid, like using a hybrid model. So it's a for-profit, nonprofit hybrid. The for-profit subsidiary of OpenAI is fully controlled by the nonprofit part of OpenAI, and the company's board is still that of a nonprofit. Elon Musk's lawsuit, though, claims that Altman assured Musk that the nonprofit structure guaranteed neutrality and a focus on safety and openness for the benefit of humanity, not shareholder value. But as it turns out, this was all hot air philanthropy, the hook for Altman's long con. Okay, but then get a load of these people. Musk alleges that OpenAI abandoned its principles when it entered into its multi-billion-dollar partnership with Microsoft. And so he left OpenAI's board back in 2018 prior to the company's partnership with Microsoft. But then Musk went on to make his own AI company called xAI, which is for profit.
But cooler because there's an X in it.
True.
Or sexier, I can't tell which he's trying to go for, probably both.
It'll make all the difference, yeah. It sounds like Musk is a little salty here.
Yeah, 100%, and he always has been. And so that's the weird thing about him being like kind of, he's in the shadow cabinet, is that like theoretically he wants to work with Trump, but he also obviously cares a million times more about his own companies. And so Trump just wants to have this day where he's standing with tech billionaires and they're mostly doing their own thing, but he's not stopping it, I guess. So he gets some of the credit. And then Elon Musk comes in and torpedoes it in the same way that Donald Trump just wanted to get inaugurated and Musk decided, no, this is about me, I'm gonna zig heil on the stage. Screw you, buddy, this is my day. And how many times do you get to do that before Donald Trump is done with you? And so, do they have the money? I don't know, maybe they don't. Maybe Musk is right, or maybe Musk is doing what he constantly does on Twitter, which is say whatever he has to say, whether it's a lie or not, to prop up stock price of his company. He's done that many times before, illegally done that before and not gotten any trouble because he's wealthy and well connected. And so I don't know whether to trust any of these numbers that are being thrown around. Some of them sound pretty good, if setting up these data centers produces 100,000 jobs rather than just taking all of our jobs with the AI that they generate, which is the long con that they're doing, then that would be great. But will it? Or is it like how when they build a pipeline, it takes a lot of jobs, and then once it's built, it's 30 people. It's like a Denny's staff that runs the thing. I don't think of data centers as being a super labor-intensive industry in an ongoing way. And also, they didn't even say that. Trump said that. Well, remember when Trump got in office the last time, he was like, I'm gonna do all this stuff, get all these businesses back, this air conditioning company's gonna build the plant. They didn't do any of that. He just says it. He's got that in common with Elon Musk. They know they can say whatever they want, it'll make headlines, and then if it doesn't happen, whatever, that's 1,000 Hitler salutes ago. We don't even remember that anymore. And so some of it sounds good, but I don't know who to trust, either on the political side or on the CEO side.
Oh man, that is a difficult game to play, right?
Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.